I'm Scarlet Fu. This is Bloomberg ETF IQ, where we focus on the access, risks, and rewards offered by exchange-traded funds. Now, whether you fear or embrace ETFs, there's no getting around their influence. Bloomberg Intelligence ETF guru Eric Balchunas is here now with a look at some recent flows amid all the volatility.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Scarlett. Turbulence is a good word for it, and it won't king in the flows. You dig down a little bit, and there's definitely some shifting in the portfolio to much more conservative allocations.
Yeah, a lot of anxiety there rippling through. Let's bring in Wes Gray. He's CEO of Quant. What do you see when it comes to regime change, value to growth to value, I should say, risk to defensive? How far along this rotation are we, and what indications do you have that it'll be?
And we forget that beta is a factor, which Wes has written about quite a bit. Talk a little bit about
thinking they know something.
At least it's the honest answer here.
Yeah, and you talk about beta and then everything else, which we tend to call smart beta.
I'm Scarlet Fu. This is Bloomberg ETF IQ. Let's get to the ETF life cycle, where we run you through the three main stages of ETFs. The shots fired in the battle between active and passive investing. We know investors are increasingly choosing to invest according to their values. Just how active is this approach? Depends on the product on offer. Let's bring in Martin Krebenstein. He is head of ETFs, and the category overall has taken in $1.6 billion this year, the most ever. But ESG is tiny compared to, say, value and overall within the ETF universe. It does seem like there's a disconnect between the hype and the buzz generated by ESG and the actual amount in assets amassed. Why do you think that is?
And a better way of really building core ESG products, and I think in that sector.
So I have an issue with the labeling of ESG. It's confusing for investors because it's so broad they don't really understand what's in the actual fund. For example, your NUSC is a gun-free small-cap ETF, but investors wouldn't know that. And in the days after the Parkland shooting...
and so from that perspective, we see the E and the S and the G as ways of identifying companies that manage their material resources.
We just reported your filing for an ESG junk bond ETF. I'm Scarlet Fu. This is Bloomberg ETF IQ. Now, for every ETF that offers exposure to an asset class or theme, it's not long before others promise the same. M&A activity has been a bit of a mixed bag this year, yet big completed deals are helping to make one merger arb fund a standout in a sea of volatility. Sal, we learned is that it's 70% long, 30% short. Is that the typical breakdown, or does that change according to the environment? Does it ever get to 50-50?
It rarely gets as low as 50-50. The hedge ratio is usually...
All these ESG funds, they're all targeted at millennials, it feels like.
They're all waiting for millennials to get rich, but I don't know why they don't have to go after baby boomers. They have so much more money, and they were bigger hippies than any generation.
Yeah, they're the original hippies.
Yeah, they got to go down and reach that inner hippie that existed a long time ago.
Notice no one's targeting Gen X at all. They've given up on us. All right, that does it for Bloomberg ETF IQ. Be sure to catch us each Wednesday at 1 p.m. New York time, 6 p.m. in London.